Hey everybody, welcome to the latest episode of All2ReelToo. Yeah. Anyways, my name is Michael E. Cullen II, and with me as always is...
Matthew Haas.
Yes, Matthew Haas.
I like how I say my name like a question mark.
Like you're not sure.
I always say I'm like Matthew Haas. Like I'm not even sure that's my name. Like
maybe it's not.
No, it is.
Oh, okay.
I checked my birth certificate.
Oh, okay, cool. Just making sure. maybe you're doubting yourself because you're not really sure if that's your name or not.
Oh boy,
Matthew Haas.
Yeah,
wait. Anyways, the other day I talked to Ernie O'Donnell, who you may know from the film Clerks, Chasing Amy, Dogma, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Jersey Girl, Cop Out, Shooting Clerks, and the upcoming movie 100 Acres of Hell. He's a actor, writer, producer. It was a really fun conversation, so let's take a listen to that now. We'd like to welcome Ernie O'Donnell to the All2 interview portion of All2ReelToo. How you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. Things are good. I was actually just watching a little bit of the 20th anniversary of SmackDown.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, old school wrestler. So I wanted to see some of the old guys I'm recording. Actually,
didn't the Rock come back or something? Or I mean, recently too, or something? I've heard something about he's gonna come back to wrestling or something. I heard that, which is
well, he made it. He helped open the show tonight.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. I mean, he created, SmackDown is pretty much based off of everything that he did and what he said. But, I don't know. I don't know if he'd come back.
I don't know if he'll wrestle or not. Yeah.
No, I mean, like, maybe a couple rare appearances like that, maybe something like that. But I doubt him being on a regular schedule. I don't see that. He's got way too much stuff going on.
Oh, yeah. Just to get started here, would you tell us a little bit about how you got started in acting and entertainment and everything?
Yeah, man. I mean, it started pretty early for me. It was in grammar school, actually. We did like a mock-up Amico commercial in the I want to say the third or fourth grade, and I don't know. It kind of got me going, and then I got into the grammar school plays, and then in the 6th grade, that's when I met Mike Bellicose, who's known to the View Askew fans as the Inner Row guy, and Kevin Smith. Everybody knows who he is. And we found a love of, comedy and sketch comedy, especially like SNL and the Blues Brothers. And we started doing little stuff together in school plays, and Sir Thomas More was one of our big ones, Night Before Christmas. So that's where the bug really started. And then as we went into high school, me, Kevin, and Belly created a comedy troupe called Skamods. So when we got to the school, there was no talent show. There was plays. We all got into the plays, but we wanted to do more than that. So me and Kevin joined the social, what do they call it? I don't know, not the social media, but some sort of club that pulls off events in schools. So we joined that club and created a talent show so we could perform. So, it was, Kevin had a lot of stuff in his head that he wanted to get out. And we came up with some really cool skits. Like I said, in the vein of Saturday Night Live. We actually got a pretty decent amount of news write-ups in the local newspapers and things like that for our comedy troupe. So that's where it really all started. And then once we got out of high school, I did typically what everybody else did. I went into the city and started doing a lot of background work. So I did probably 30 features of background and stand-in work and things like that. And in the meantime, Kevin approached me about, because he went off to film school, and Kev came back from film school and told me about this script that he wrote called Clerks. And that's kind of where everything pretty much took off.
Yeah, and for anybody that doesn't know, you played Rick Darris in Clerks, and memorable scene at least. And so what would you say is your favorite memory so far from any of the films or anything that you've done?
Well, it's kind of hard. As growing up as a kid and wanting to be around this and idolizing. I hate to use the word idolizing, but looking up to a lot of these actors and things like that. I've worked with people in the stand-in field and background, but in small little tiny parts with people like Harrison Ford, Martin Scorsese, and Sean Penn and Woody Allen. And I got to meet one of my idols from one of the greatest westerns ever, Tombstone, Val Kilmer.
Awesome.
I did some stand-in work with Val Kilmer, and it was just things like that are really cool. But if I was to say probably one of the most memorable, if not memorable, moments was when Kevin gave me a call out of the blue and told me something that he had referred to me a few months back during a poker game. He said that he had got the movie Cop Out, which was early on called A Couple of Dicks.
Yeah.
Before they changed the name because whatever bullshit. It was kind of it was kind of weak. They could have went with it, but they didn't. Either way, so I knew it was with Bruce Willis, and when he called me up and confirmed it, of course I said, "So what do you got for me?" Because he knows that me and Kev back in the day used to rock The Return of Bruno, the Bruce Willis, in my 1978 International Scout all the time. We wore that sumbitch out, and we love the guy. Kev cooked me with Moonlighting and stuff like that, and of course John McClane, Die Hard. How could any kid not like that character? So when he told me that he was doing the movie with him, he said, "Yeah, I got a little something for you." I said, "Oh, great." So I'm thinking I'm just going to be in the movie. I don't give a shit what it is. I'm in a Bruce Willis movie, so I don't care.
Yeah.
I was thinking, it's going to be some pass by of one line here or there or something. But when he sent me the sides, I was acting in a scene with Bruce Willis, with Sean William Scott, with Tracy Morgan, and I was like, that's pretty badass. So I went to New York City, in Brooklyn, was there for about 3 days, and the crazy thing is me and Kevin were just sitting between takes on the typical, director-style chairs in the streets of Brooklyn, New York City, watching all this movie making, going on. And it was just very, surreal. It was like, here's two kids that grew up together, wanting to be in the movies, wanting to do things, wanting to work with certain people, and here we are sitting in the streets of New York on a Bruce Willis film. It just, it's kind of mind-blowing sometimes.
Yeah,
and that's probably...
It must be surreal, yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of the moments that I was like, it's crazy, and it's great, And at the end of the day, it's, you kind of can't take it for granted. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta take it all in. And it is a lot of hard work. It's a lot of hours. I know people say sitting around doing nothing, you're in your trailer, blah, blah, blah. How hard? Listen, I've been a carpenter for 30 years. I know what hard work is.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that my job is the hardest. There are plenty of guys out there doing a lot harder stuff than I am. But I know what it is. But when you work on a movie set, anybody complains about that, they smacked upside their head, because it's awesome. So that's that moment is probably one of the highlights that stick in my head. Also, not to mention working with George Carlin in a scene was, even though Kev cut me out and I didn't know till the premiere. But you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah,
So, but
I remember when I saw Cop Out and I saw your scene and I was like, I elbowed my buddy in the theater and I was like, I think that's Ernie O'Donnell. I was like, that's cool. Let's see him in this one.
I was like one of the one of the only ones, or one of the only few players really, the originals that actually gets to work in some other films that nobody else does, and obviously that's because of mine and Kevin's friendship.
Yeah.
And again, I don't take that. It is what it is. When he calls, I go.
Yeah.
I don't beg for a role. I don't say do this, do that. He knows I'm here. He knows when he needs somebody in a pinch to do something, I'm here. And I'm very appreciative for everything that he's done for me. And it's been a 40-year relationship, so those are kind of rare.
Yeah, you don't have too many friendships that you have from like when you're a kid that last that long. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm only 42, but I mean, I only have like maybe one friend that I have from when I was a kid, so it's kind of sad. But yeah, but it just happens.
I got a strange network of friends. I got a lot of close friends that I grew up with. I mean, Mike Bellicose is my best friend in the whole world, and he was with that trio, me, Kevin, him, and the Skamods. And obviously Kevin branched off to do bigger, better things. But it's weird. I mean, I got a core. I have to say about 5 or 6 core friends that I've been with for a long time, man. And that's like I said, that's something rare, and it's great. And the fact that me and Kevin stay in touch as much as we can, but he's got a busy schedule. Everybody knows. You can see on the reboot tour, he's all over the place.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out a date that I can go see him. So, but yeah.
Hi, folks. This is Michael E. Cullen II from the podcast that you're listening to right now, along with
Manager Matthew Haas.
You got promoted?
Yes.
Damn it. Okay. Anyways, folks, do you like the show Superstore? I don't know. I asked the folks and nobody's answering me.
Because they're not here.
Oh,
but we love
damn it. Yeah, we love it, though. Okay, folks, if you like it as much as we do, you're really going to like the Super Story podcast, which is a podcast where Matthew and I go episode by episode and give our little opinions and thoughts on it. Sometimes we have guests, sometimes we don't. Just depends on how we're feeling.
Yeah.
And, so if you like this podcast and like our little crazy banter,
then you should definitely check this out. Or I might get sad. And when I get sad, it gets pretty sad.
Yeah,
so
I can't deal with him when he's sad.
Yeah, no one can really. So
yeah. So check out Super Story Podcast right here where you get this podcast, Super Story Podcast.
In the magical world of Hoth, there are wizards, there are sorcerers, and there are magi. And none of them know what they're doing.
That's how the best spells are discovered. Throw it at the wall and read the tea leaves. Or scorch marks.
Witness the wonders of magic, science, and property damage in a radio drama of phantasmical proportions.
Face my mastery over the elements!
Magus Ilgar. Now available for download wherever audiobooks are sold. Listen to the first 3 episodes for free on YouTube.
I know you've talked about working with George Carlin and Val Kilmer and Bruce Willis and everything. Who, when you were growing up, besides them, inspired you to want to be an actor?
Well, there's different sides of that. I mean, obviously, growing up, Sean Connery was, James Bond when I was a kid was the man. So it was that was the greatest thing ever to watch, the whole James Bond saga. I mean, but there was a point in grammar school at OLPH where Kevin approached me because he used to leave school and go to movies with his dad, which I was very jealous of. He came back to me the next day and he goes, "Listen, James Bond ain't shit." I was like, "What? What are you talking about? James Bond is..." And he goes, "Listen, Indiana Jones." I was like, "What?" He goes, "I just saw this movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark. You got it. So I was like, there's no way, man, there's no way. And I went and saw Raiders. Holy shit! That is one of my top 3 movies of all time. And to actually be inspired by Harrison Ford, I think he's a great actor, a great guy. I've met him a couple times. He's a carpenter. He was a carpenter himself. He probably inspired me a lot. In a weird way, John Travolta. I mean, I love growing up, Grease, Saturday Night Fever, anything that Travolta did back in the day. I mean, of course, when he came back with Pulp Fiction, but I've always been a big fan of Travolta. He's on my bucket list to work with. And, of course, the man De Niro. And, Raging Bull is one of my best movies that, hands down one of the greatest movies ever made. And then the last and final one is probably Denzel Washington. Denzel is, I mean, you don't get any much better than Denzel.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I mean, I got to work with him on The Siege as an FBI agent. I had no lines, but I got to be in the room with him and during the meetings and stuff like that. And just to watch that man operate and all the different techniques he used for every take, it's like going to school, man. Mm-hmm. So those are the kind of guys, the kind of cats that I really, gravitated towards.
So, what is your favorite film of all time? Just curious.
Well, oof. I get asked that quite often by friends and stuff like that, and that's a hard one for me to pick.
Yeah.
There's a couple movies that I have to always watch anytime it's on TV. Regardless, I'm not talking of, every guy watches The Gladiator or Shawshank Redemption or, Jaws, any kind of movie like that, or Rocky, the guys watch them, you can't turn them off. But the movie that I just love, because I'm a huge fan, is I've watched The Blues Brothers. I can't tell you how many times. It's even though most people don't think it's the greatest movie or this or that. I was such a huge fan of John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd, and I'm a blues guy. I like the blues. Blues Brothers is one of my tops, and of course, like I said, Raiders of the Lost Ark. And it's it's surprising. I mean, I like Star Wars, but if you put Star Wars up to Raiders of the Lost Ark, I'm always going to go for Raiders.
Yeah.
But I mean, of course, I love the whole Star Wars stuff and things like. I mean, there's so many things, but those two really stick out. And I'm a huge boxing fan, so of course I do like Raging Bull, like I said before. It's just a great piece by Scorsese.
Yeah, I love the Blues Brothers. I watched it a bunch as a kid. I had a Blues Brothers poster right above my bed in my bedroom. So yeah, right. I understand that love for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. A couple months ago, I was because periodically I collect Blues Brothers memorabilia, and periodically I go on eBay and stuff like that, and just look to see what's out there. And I rolled across a poster that I haven't seen since Kevin's bedroom. Kevin had this Blues Brothers poster in his bedroom when we were kids that I was like, where'd you get that, man? Oh, I love that. I got to get one of them. I could never find it, ever. A couple months ago, I found it on eBay.
Oh, wow.
So I snatched it up. It's an original. So, and it wasn't that much money. I don't know. It was maybe $40, $50.
Yeah. I
got it, took a picture of it, and sent it right to Kev. And I said, "You remember this?" And of course, he was like, "Fuck, man, where'd you get that?" Yeah, we all love that. And I had shit. Remember? I don't know if you remember. Remember the big, huge posters they used to do full size? I had the full size Arnold Schwarzenegger Commando poster. That was another big one.
Yeah, I used to have random posters I would get, and I love that. The weirdest one I ever had was a Kenny Rogers the Gambler poster that I used to have hanging in my room for some reason. My cousin had my bedroom before me, and she had it hanging up, and I just left it there, and I just had it there for years, just as a weird conversation piece. So, yeah. But
Kenny Rogers. Oh,
yeah.
wow.
What are you like currently like watching or listening to that you would recommend to anybody listening, or anything that you know?
Well, I just got done watching season 2 on Netflix of Mindhunters.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, first season was absolutely great. The second season was good. I didn't think it was as good as the first,
No.
but still really good. I started, on Kevin's recommendation, I started watching, I think it's called The Boys, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I started watching that. I haven't gotten through it all yet, but so far I like it. I watched, I just got done watching a couple weeks ago, Ozark with Jason Bateman.
I have yet to see Ozark. I hear it's awesome though.
Yeah, man. I picked it up a couple of years ago, and I started watching it, and I fell off, but then I picked it back up again, and I was like, damn, it's really good.
Yeah.
It's a really good show.
Yeah, the Boys is good for sure. I had to watch that because the showrunner on that, Eric Kripke, is actually a hometown boy here from Toledo.
Oh, yeah?
The Toledo
Right.
area. Yeah, so yeah. I met him a couple times. He's a great guy. But yeah, so...
Yeah, there's so many shows out there, man. It's crazy. You can't get them all. I mean, it's just I don't have time to watch them all. That's the problem.
Yeah,
you know,
everybody keeps recommending things to me, and I'm like, yeah, maybe in like 5 years I'll watch that.
Yeah, I did watch because I'm also a big Bruce Lee fan because I used to watch Kung Fu Theater back in the day. Also, The Warrior. I believe it's on Stars. The Warrior, or no, Cinemax. Sorry, Cinemax. The Warrior was really good. I enjoyed that. But you got to be into kung fu and martial arts and stuff like that. But
yeah,
I like a lot of different stuff.
What do you what advice would you give to anybody that might be interested in getting into acting or anything?
Well, shit, man. I mean, back when I was trying to get into it, it was so much different. I mean, now I don't want to say it's easier, but there's a lot more venues, especially with social media and streaming sites and things like that. And if I would tell anybody anything, and I recently just did this myself in the last couple of years. Do something yourself. I mean, just don't wait for anybody. I mean, if you want to do a role, a part, or get something out of your head, I mean, go out there and create something. I mean, go make a movie, go make a short, go make a documentary. Get that thing out there. It's not that much to do it nowadays. Everything is pretty easy, and just work. Do whatever you can do. I mean, if it's background, stand-in work, just to be on the set. I mean, being on a set, you can learn so much stuff. I mean, that's what I was saying before. You don't complain. You sit there and you absorb. You absorb everything you're watching. The camera guys, the gaff guys, the lighting. Everybody that's doing something, you watch it and absorb it because you're going to remember it and it's going to come in handy one day. But if you're an independent actor and not in a union, just do whatever you can. Grab any role, audition for anything. You may suck most of the time because most of us all suck during auditions.
Yeah.
It's really, auditions are tough. I mean, I've been on a few lately in New York, and they give me 2-3 words, 2-3 lines, and that's it. It's like, well, what am I going to do with this?
Yeah, how do you sink your teeth into that?
I mean, I literally went to New York City 2 weeks ago for 2 lines. One line was 1 word, and the second line was 3 words. And that's it. I was walking out, the scene was me walking out of the diner as a cop, saying something to the chief who was in the booth. And I'm like, do you want anything? I tried a couple different things. Like, oh, thank you. And it's like,
you never know what somebody's looking for.
But the thing is, you can't get discouraged.
Yeah.
You got to tell these people you just can't get discouraged. Just you keep doing it, because things come back around full circle. That person that you met that day that didn't use you or or you were with them for 2 seconds, might remember you for something later, or you might meet them at a party somewhere or a function or an event, and they're like, oh, you blah, 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 and things happen. I tell people that all the time. Don't turn stuff away in the entertainment business. I mean, of course, it's got to be something, legit.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. You got to make sure these things are legit. And if they're legit and the guy, are passionate about it, do it. Just get there and keep doing it. Don't get discouraged, man. I sat on my ass for years, working in construction, while all my friends were saying, "Why aren't you doing more stuff? Why aren't you doing more stuff?" I mean, you're friends with Kevin, and he can help you out, and this and that. And I'm just like, listen, I really don't want to bug Kev about all that stuff. When I'm ready, I'll do it. Mm-hmm. And I turned 50, and I was like, screw it, let's go. I started doing it. So I produced my own horror movie 2 years ago, which is coming out in a couple weeks, with my buddy Jason Kerner, called 100 Acres of Hell. So I got that coming out, and then I created my own short. I did a short, just brought it to a festival. I got an animated sitcom I'm working on. So screw it. I'm at that point now where I'm just doing anything. I'm throwing everything at the wall, brother, and see what sticks.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's good advice, just to go out there and do something. I mean, because that's what I've been. I mean, I'm a filmmaker myself, and it's just what I do. Is I just go out there and do it when I can. I took a couple years off, and I'm just like, now I'm getting back into it, and I'm just like regretting taking those 2 years off. So.
Yeah, man. I tell you what, I wish I would have started, earlier, in my 20s and 30s. There was not anything accessible back then like there is now. If you wanted to do something, you had to go to New York, or you had to go to LA. If you wanted equipment, you had to go rent it. Nobody had cameras. Somebody was lucky to have a VHS camcorder if you were lucky.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, you can use your iPhone. You can use, anything. Doing sound, music, your computer. It's so much easier now to do stuff. So there's no excuse for anybody not to get out there and do something if they really want to do it.
Yeah, usually it's just your fear or your
yep.
Yeah, holding you back.
Yep. And you got to get to a point where, like I said, you just throw things at the wall and see what sticks. And you're going to put some shit out there, and you're going to put some good stuff out there. So you just keep doing it. It'll come. But you just got to stick to it and be passionate, and don't listen to the haters, man, because there's a lot of haters out there.
Oh yeah.
When I watch somebody's film and it's not that good, it's like, it's not that good, but at least he made a film. At least he went out there and did it. It may not be great, but at least, he's doing a lot more than these other people are doing. So, got to give credit where credit's due when it comes to that.
Yeah, I love the people that don't do it, and then they just, criticize other people that do it, and you're like, what have you done?
Yeah, exactly. What have you done? You're nobody, and no, maybe I am nobody, but I've done a lot of stuff in my years and met a lot of people, and I'm still here and I'm still doing it, and so must say.
So the final fun question I like to ask people is, what is your guilty pleasure movie? Like something you're afraid to admit you like.
Wow. Oh, that's a good question. A guilty pleasure movie. Oh God, you got me there, boy. Now, is this one that I have to have watched multiple times, or
just something you enjoyed that you're almost like embarrassed to say you liked it?
Well, I mean, like I said before, I'm a Travolta fan. I can't tell you how many times I've watched Grease. I mean, some guys, don't think that's kind of a great thing, but
That was my sister's favorite movie when we were kids, and I probably have seen Grease more than I care to admit. Yeah. I interviewed Eddie Deason, who played Eugene in that a few weeks ago. Yeah, he's a guy.
had to tell him that, yeah, I watched that movie more than I probably wanted to admit.
Yeah, man. I mean, I love that movie to death.
Yeah.
I mean, I also played Danny Zuko in high school.
Nice.
In the play. Yeah, Kev was Kaneki. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, you should have seen him dancing on stage, boy. Oh, it's great. His leather coat is so good.
I can see you as Danny. I don't know if I can see Kev as Kaneki, but I guess it would work. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. He pulled it off. He'll never say that he's a great actor or nothing like that, and none of us really do. But he went out there full bore, bro. He did it. He didn't give a shit. And back then, Kev was real conscious of his weight. It was tough for him. But he went out there and did it. I mean, I give him props, man. He did a great job. It was fun. That's a memorable evening, I have to say.
Hey, folks, this is Michael E. Cullen II from the podcast that you're listening to right now, along with
Matthew Haas.
We just wanted to tell you about our great podcast called Super. It's called All2Real. And on that show, what do we do, Matt?
We watch biopics, and then we talk about whether or not the movie matched up with the real story or not.
So
it was a lot more exciting than that, though.
Yeah, so we analyze the real story and the real story. Get it?
Real.
Yeah, they're spelled differently, folks. You can guess which one I said which way. Anyways, so sometimes we have guests, sometimes we don't. But we talk about great movies like Shattered Glass and The Social Network and Futile and Stupid Gesture, among others. Those are some of the ones that we've covered so far, and we're going to cover a lot more. So please subscribe on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you find your great, fun podcasts. And be sure to share it with your friends.
Do it.
And make sure you're not afraid to get all too real. Bye-bye.
So, where can people find your 100 Acres of Hell and all the other movies and stuff when they come out that you got coming up?
Yeah, so right now my short is just starting to hit the festival circuit, the seventh day. That's about priests and pedophile and judgment and stuff. It's really a deep kind of conversation piece, which I'm very proud of. So that's just starting to hit the festival circuits. My other movie that I actually produced is on Amazon Prime, Amazon Prime. I believe it's on Prime, or definitely just Amazon. I helped produce a movie with my buddy Troy Burbank called Gone for the Weekend. And that's a great throwback, kind of bachelor party type style, Revenge of the Nerds, those comedies from back in the 80s, 90s kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's really fun. So that's on Amazon now. And then the big dog that is coming out on October 8th in select theaters and streaming platforms on October 15th is 100 Acres of Hell. That's our full-length horror feature that stars Gene Snitsky and the great Samu from the WWE, the both of them, and myself and Eileen Dietz from The Exorcist, Catherine Cochran from Terrifier and the Trauma films. So that's coming out next week. They haven't exactly told us what theaters, but we're really excited about this. This has been going on for almost 7 to 8 years now, and it's been a long haul. But we're really proud of this movie. We've won some awards through some festivals and things like that, but we finally got picked up by a distributor, Indican Pictures, and it's coming out next week, and we're stoked, man. I just hope everybody watches it for the holidays, for the Halloween season. It's good. It's for the money we spent, this thing looks like $1 million film.
Awesome. I'll have to be sure to look around for that and check it out.
Yeah, it's all over social media and a lot of the horror sites. are picking it up and doing reviews of it and things like that. So, yeah, this is going to be a good one.
And where could people like follow you on social media or whatever, on Twitter and whatnot and everything?
Yeah, Twitter. I'm on. It's O'Donnell 7 on Twitter, and I just joined Instagram a couple weeks ago as OD Blues, and I'm prominently on Facebook as Ernie O'Donnell.
Awesome.
So I'm usually on Facebook most of the time. That's where most of my stuff goes.
Cool.
But I've been trying to branch out into Twitter and Instagram a little bit more because it is good to pimp your stuff and to get things out there. And it also gets you hooked up with people like you and, other people around the country, around the world, I should say, to do cool things like this and to do projects and, events. I mean, the last event I just did for Cav, the Clerks 3 reading.
Oh, yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, social media was a big part of that. So it's good to get out there and do that stuff because that's why we sold out instantly 2 nights for a great cause. So,
well, it was great talking to you. Hopefully we can talk again sometime. And good luck with your films.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate you reaching out, and hopefully we'll meet up one day.
All right, awesome. You have a good night.
You too. Take care, buddy.
Bye.
Okay, and we are back. Hope you guys enjoyed that interview. I know I did.
I did too. I loved it.
Did you love it?
I did. I loved it. Yeah.
If you loved it so much, you should marry it.
Well, I can't love an abstract thing.
Oh, that's right. I forget sometimes. Yeah.
I know you do. It's okay.
I know. My name's Mike, by the way. I mean, I know I introduced myself at the beginning of the show, but I'm just letting people know that I know who I am. I know I'm secure in myself. I love myself. I love the listeners. Matt is laughing at me.
Because we were supposed to make this serious.
I know.
We can't do it, guys. I'm sorry. So we're just going to keep riffing.
Yes, we will. So, anyways, I love myself. I hope you loved that interview. I love Matt. I love you.
I love Mike.
Yes. And we love everything.
Mm-hmm. Everything and everybody.
Yes. And make sure that, you do good things for each other. Mm. This world is a nice and happy place if we make it that way.
Yeah.
That's my advice for today. So Matt, what should people do that if they liked this and love us and love the episode?
If they are all of those things, and they also want to make the world a better place, they could start doing that. They could start doing that by liking our podcast on social media.
Yes.
/ sharing it, links to their friends and or followers, whether it be via Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, if that's even still a thing. There's some bullshit called TikTok now, apparently. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to completely trash an app here. But,
it's okay, TikTok.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you'd like to sponsor us, TikTok. Okay, anyway,
yeah. So, yeah, or any other, kind of social media.
Any internet-based,
if you want to put a
thing,
or if you want to put a bunch of letters together and just hand them to your mailman and send them off to your friends that say, hey, listen to All2ReelToo.
Yeah, the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
And also, if you would very much appreciate if you would go to any of the normal places you go to listen to podcasts, whether it be Stitcher, Apple, whatever, just, give us a 5-star rating or a thumbs up or any indication that you liked it, because that will help our ratings and that will also help us get listeners in the future. So you won't be the special few anymore, but your family will grow exponentially. So
you can always be the hipster that was the first one to listen to us.
Yeah, you'll always have that. Yeah. So that's, no one can take that away
Are
from
hipsters still a thing?
They probably are. They might have a different name by now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mm-hmm. Post-hipsterism?
Yes, post-hipsterism. Anyways, so do that, and if you like us a lot and you want to wear stuff that has our logo on it and other things, you can check out our TeePublic. There'll be a link to it in the show notes. Yeah, we got cool T-shirts and bumper stickers and other fun things, tote bags. I don't know.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
Maybe, a car with our logo on the side of it. Wait, I don't think they sell those on there. No, they don't. No.
We don't sell cars, people, so.
No.
Maybe like miniature toy cars.
I mean, you might be able to buy something on there that you could put on your car, like a bumper sticker.
Yeah.
And then you can drive around town and let people know that you're cool.
Yeah.
Or that you listen to us, one of the two.
One of the two, yeah.
Yeah, or both. I mean, whatever. So, yeah. Hope everybody has a good evening, morning, afternoon.
Or a timeless type of existence.
If you're in some kind of dimension that time doesn't exist, I hope you're enjoying listening to this.
I hope they're enjoying their existence altogether, because that would suck if they weren't in a timeless sort of realm. But, so hopefully this will bring a smile to their face.
Yes. And have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to All2ReelToo podcast, a Cullen Park production. Produced and edited by Michael E. Cullen II. Music by Matthew Hawes. Subscribe and share the show. Visit us at cullenpark.com.